name's Connor McGreevy. I'm from Sydney. I have gyms in my Maroubra territory. This has just been here for just over 2 years. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 employees. That's made up of full-time, part-time and casual workers. I'm off the tools, which is what my goal was going into it, and have the ability to sort of take a week off and come down here while the business keeps running. We've got it to now, we do just over $500,000 a year in turnover, and hopefully we can do a bit more next year. That's the plan. But yeah, for myself, first year was like a grind. Worked like long hours, and I'll be honest, like it wasn't easy. 6:30 in the morning till midnight. That was like 5 days a week for a while, doing all the work and then doing the bookkeeping after. But I'm glad I did it to get it to where it was now in such a short period of time. My view on it is I could have done this, but it would have taken me 5 years if I would do it a bit slower. But if you just work hard early, I was able to do it pretty quickly. I was at university. I still need to finish my degree. I've got 4 subjects left, but I've put that on hold as this sort of took off. And I owned a little gardening business with a friend, but then now it's just running the gym. So I had the gardening experience and a little bit running a business, but that was nothing like really compared to this. It was like a day a week, or just sort of like more of an extra way to make better money. And then yeah, university I did a business degree, but in all honesty, I wouldn't call on that degree very often when it comes to what I do now. So somewhat of an interesting story, I guess. When I started, the guy I bought it off is a great bloke. But the whole time he was selling me the franchise, he was selling me on like how little he had to work, and like he was making like, I don't know what it was, he'd make like $3 grand a week or something, and he was like, mate, like I start at 9, I finish at 2, like it's the best. Like the leads come in, don't have to worry about it, like it's just that easy. And it was so funny because he was like selling me all the wrong things. I was like, wait, so you're starting at 9, finish at 2 and making what a week? So why don't you work from 7 to 7? And that's what got me in, just the leads. And that's like, still now I realise like it's incredible the amount of leads that it generates. I try and start other businesses on the side while doing this, and it's not easy to get the leads coming in. You can try and run your Google ads, but it really is the brand image, very trustworthy. So that's the biggest advantage. Obviously, the network, you learn a lot of things. I think for each individual who gets into it, they would really depend on what the benefit is. Some people need like the business training, and that's like what brings them in, because you get taught all the systems. Others, it's the access to work. Some people just want like the community side of it. So different parts of it, but for me it was the leads, just purely getting the access to work. I would like to have a $1 million business and more, sort of just go as big as I can with it. But I also don't want to be stuck in the day-to-day. It is a goal of mine to have this like run autonomously on its own, and that's sort of a big motivator. I think it would be a reflection of how well you can grow a business. So it's not just about the money and everything, it's can I do it? But from that, just want to keep growing it. I want to try and have another franchise location, something different, and have another area. In my opinion, if I can get 2 areas working in Sydney, well, then I could have one in Melbourne, Brisbane. You can put it anywhere and run it through one office. So that's the goal. And then just, in all honesty, like if I can get gyms going really well and making me good money, I'd love the opportunity to get into other business ventures, whether it be any sort of like ventures. But this can be always your safety net, recurring income. The grass is always going to grow. If you get a recession, the grass is going to grow. There's always going to be work there, whether you might scale back a bit and things will slow down, but it's never going to come to a halt. So that would be my goal, is just to keep it growing and yeah, see how far I can go with it. My fees now would come to, I worked out the other day, it's like 2.2% of turnover is what my fees come to. People will sometimes look at the fees at the end when they stop taking leads and be like $1,000 a month, but how did you get to that point where you don't even have to take any work? It was the initial leads that got you there in the franchise fees. So I don't think the fees should ever be something that people worry about. I know it can be hard, like you want to watch your money where it's going, and it can seem like it may be wasted if you're not taking work. But at the end of the day, it is really insignificant. If you try to run your own business, $1,000 a month would barely get you anywhere in terms of trying to run your own marketing plans, have softwares, do all those other things. It would barely do a thing. So that's why I say I don't really worry about the fees, and don't worry about your lead fees. That's another thing. Like, I know different divisions are more expensive, but $20 a fee, and that $20 can generate you like $10,000. It's insignificant, and don't sort of, people like will lose a lead fee and the first thing they do is ring their franchisor to be like, oh, I get that money back. It's like, you spent that time getting another lead and quoting it, you'd make more. So the fees and things, yes, they're a part of it, but at the end of the day, it's not a big cost. If you start to grow, if you have $1 million business, your fees are going to be less than 1%. Everyone's going to have a different circumstance, whether you have kids, and you need to do it for different reasons, or you might not have the money. But at the end of the day, I'd say you go for it. You do have a bit of a network, a big network, sorry, and if anything does go pear-shaped, you can almost guarantee you'll get something back out of it. But for the most part, if you sort of like just got good customer service and things, you will be able to take it to somewhat of a stage where you're happy with it. But I guess it's just sort of talk to people about it. I guess people like myself or any individual who's done it before. Most people don't realise what's possible until they hear someone else has done it, so that's why talking to someone really will just make you aware of what you can do and stuff. So.